It's 10:42 a.m., the 14th of October 2025. In the Taiwan Strait, the destroyer USS John Finn, DDG-113, suddenly catches a strange contact closing fast on radar. The sea is calm, too calm. Then, movement. A gray silhouette breaks the line of waves. It's China's CNS Xiamen, a modern Type 52D. The distance drops below 150 yards. Radio calls go out, no answer. The American crew feels the tension snap. One wrong turn and steel meets steel. The ship's SPY-6 radar locks on the approaching vessel. The 127mm gun swings toward the threat, and alarms echo through every deck. For a few frozen seconds, two warships stare each other down across the narrow sea, then both veer off, missing collision by a heartbeat. On the bridge, boots thud and hands clamp the rails. Steady. The helmsman eases 5 degrees to starboard. Spray hisses along the bow. Collision alarm wails. A lookout counts down 200 feet. 150, 100. It's a lawful transit, a phone-op, yet the line is razor thin. The silence after feels louder than the warning sirens. The Taiwan Strait isn't just a line on a map, it's one of the world's busiest lifelines. Every container ship that passes through feeds, factories, stores, and homes across the Pacific. And standing guard today is USS John Finn, enforcing the principle of free navigation that no one owns the sea. For months, U.S. destroyers have patrolled these waters under routine freedom of navigation operations. Phone-up. But routine means nothing when another navy shadows every move. Across the horizon, CNS Xiamen trails close. Its radar sweeping, its guns uncovered. On both bridges, cameras roll. Every second could become propaganda. To the crew aboard John Finn, this isn't politics, it's survival wrapped in diplomacy. They're trained to stay calm, to never escalate first. Yet when two steel giants move within a football field of each other, calm becomes a fragile command against instinct. The ocean feels smaller, the stakes bigger. Back home, few realize how thin that line truly is. One wrong maneuver here could ripple into global headlines, spike markets, and rattle alliances. Insurance rates rise, cargo slows, and silence in the strait means someone blinked first. If John Finn miscalculates, the spark could ignite more than a collision. It could drag nations toward confrontation. One ship's mistake could rewrite years of deterrence, trust, and fragile peace in the Indo-Pacific. Some sailors whisper that this was no accident, that Xiamen's move was deliberate, a message to Washington and Taipei alike. Others say it's just a test of nerves, a dare to blink first. If you were standing on that bridge, your radar screaming and the sea closing in, what would you do? Type 1 to hold the line or 9 to turn away. Your choice decides who flinches first. 10:44 a.m. 2 minutes after the near miss, John Finn's Combat Information Center hums with tension. Screens flicker. Radar operators track new contacts 3, maybe 4 skimming just above the waves. They're drones, small and fast, heading straight for the center of the strait. For the first time, Xiamen breaks radio silence. A short burst of Chinese transmission crackles through the channel, unreadable but sharp. The American bridge falls quiet except for the low hum of electronics and the heavy breath of the crew. Set condition 2, the captain orders. The SPY-6 radar switches modes, painting each contact in bright yellow. The phalanx CIWS spins up, barrels whining. On the deck, sailors lock down hatches, tie down cables, and ready flares. The range drops, 3 miles, 2, 1.5. Hold fire unless fired upon, the captain says. Everyone knows that order can flip in seconds. One of the drones suddenly dips from radar malfunction or deliberate dive, no one can tell. Another climbs toward Xiamen, slicing across the no-go zone between ships. Over the comms, John Finn's operations officer calls to a Japanese P-3 patrol orbiting 40 miles north. Confirm track IDs, request visual. Seconds later, confirmation returns. Unknown drones, possibly commercial shells modified for surveillance. Then the first one veers toward John Finn port side. The Mach 45 gun rotates left. Warning rounds thunder out 3 sharp bursts. Water erupts ahead in tall white plumes. The message is unmistakable. Back off. The drones scatter. One crashes into the sea, two vanish behind the radar's edge. For a heartbeat, quiet returns. But then Shaman shifts again, changing course slightly, edging closer, almost daring the Americans to react. The captain orders a 5-degree starboard weave to narrow the ship's profile. Engineers brace the shafts for quick speed changes. Topside lookouts call bearings in clipped voices. Electronic support measures sniff for jamming. A faint hiss rides the radio, there and gone, like someone testing a lock. In CIC, the watch officer marks every move on a grease pencil overlaid time, range, intent, because later they'll need a story that matches the tape. Nobody blinks. They wait for the next dot to appear, knowing the next dot decides what happens next. 10:49 a.m. The sea looks calm, but inside John Finn, every heartbeat sounds like artillery. The air smells of oil and tension. Both ships now steam less than half a mile apart. No gunfire, no words, just two war machines locked in a slow-motion duel. On the radar, the Chinese destroyer's signature glows steady. Its Type 346 amperes radar sweeps again, locking briefly onto the American hull. It's not a shot, but it feels like one. Electronic illumination detected, the EW officer calls out. The bridge falls silent. Maintain course, the captain orders. But his tone carries weight. He knows how close this dance is to disaster. The crew's movements grow sharper, faster. Sailors double-check safety interlocks. Damage control teams stand by with fire hoses charged. The sound of readiness fills every corridor. Then another ping. Shaman's fire control radar flickers again. It could be a systems check or a warning. On John Finn, the SPY-6 locks back. Symmetrical, deliberate, a statement. We see you too. Tension crests like a wave. The ocean between them feels only inches deep now. Out on deck, a gust of wind whips the US flag hard against its pole. The captain leans forward, eyes on the horizon, his voice low but steady. If they close within 2 cables, prepare to deploy countermeasures. From the operations deck, a sailor mutters. Feels like they're daring us to blink. Another answers, not today. Suddenly, an echo spikes on sonar fast, shallow, closing from the east. Possibly a drone boat or a torpedo decoy. The sound vanishes, then reappears closer. Orders fly, engines ahead, full right 15. The ship heels slightly as waves crash against its hull. In the combat center, adrenaline takes over precision. Every display shows data shifting in seconds. John Finn turns broadside, bringing all defenses to bear. CIWS spins up again, tracking phantom contacts that might not even be there. The captain knows. One wrong radar return, one false alarm, and the next minute writes history. Across the strait, Shaman's guns pivot slow, deliberate. 2 crews, 2 nations, watching each other through crosshairs, neither side dares to fire. If you believe John Finn should stand firm against every provocation, press 1. If you think backing down now avoids a war no one wins, press 9. 10:56 a.m. Just as the tension plateaus, a new radar contact flashes small, fast, hugging the waves from the south. Not from Shaman. Surface contact, bearing 180, range 2 miles, speed 40 knots, the radar operator shouts. The captain looks up. That's not theirs. 2 more blips appear. Within seconds, 5 unknown boats fill the display, darting like sparks on water. Unmanned surface craft, the XO says. Swarm pattern. The duel turns chaotic. John Finn adjusts course, sonar scanning for prop signatures. Nothing solid, just metallic echoes and speed. These craft are small, disposable, and dangerous. Deploy Nixie decoy, ready countermeasures. The captain orders. Cables unspool off the stern as Spy-6 tracks the swarm. Flares streak upward, painting the mist red. Over comms, the Japanese P-3 patrol confirms. 5 high-speed contacts, no markings. John Finn holds steady. Shaman veers north, retreating or repositioning, no one knows. Both ships now share the same threat, but neither will admit it. Cameras on each bridge keep rolling, waiting for someone to pull the trigger. Set for close defense, the captain orders. Sailors brace. CIWS spins up again, whining under tension. One contact suddenly breaks from the pack, charging straight toward John Finn's bow. Range 300 yards, 200, 150. Every instinct screams to fire. The captain's jaw tightens. He hesitates, half a second of silence stretching forever, then, hold fire. Identify first. The order lands like a heartbeat before the storm. 10:59 a.m. The ocean explodes into chaos. One of the fast contacts breaks from the swarm, charging directly at John Finn. Range 100 yards. The captain gives no time for hesitation. Engage! The phalanx CIWS roars to life, a torrent of metal and fire. Tracers cut across the gray horizon, slamming into the oncoming craft. The explosion sprays seawater high into the air, rocking the deck. Alarms blare. "Impact avoided!" a voice yells. But the relief lasts seconds. Two more contacts appear closer, faster. "Left battery, target 2 and 3, the captain shouts. The Mar 45 gun hammers the waves, shells punching through spray. One boat disintegrates, the other spins out, burning. The crew cheers briefly, then freezes. One final blip remains, coming dead ahead. On sonar, the signal wavers, vanishing into the ship's noise. It's too close, too deep. Possible subsurface contact, someone calls out. The captain steadies his voice. Deploy decoys, flares, full spread. Red streaks arc across the sky as countermeasures launch into the sea. Seconds stretch thin. The last contact reappears right beneath the bow. A deafening blast follows. The ship shudders. Men stumble. Alarms scream. But it's not a hit. The drone detonated early, broken by pressure and interference. The wave washes over the deck, drenching everything in salt and smoke. Damage control teams sweep the ship. No flooding. A pepper of shrapnel on the forecastle. Two bruised sailors wave off the corpsmen and return to posts. Spent links clatter under boots. The tang of hot barrel smoke hangs sweet and bitter. Out on the horizon, Shaman's deck crews snap covers back over guns. A helo lifts, circles once like a cautious hawk, then fades into haze. No salute, no apology. In the command center, breath returns in short bursts. All contacts neutralized, the XO reports. The captain nods, staring at the radar where silence finally returns. The ocean calms again, but no one believes it's truly over. Across the strait, Shaman holds position, watching. Neither side speaks. Two destroyers, scarred but intact, drift in a fragile truce. The captain looks out through the bridge glass, his reflection blurred by seawater and exhaustion. Next time, he mutters, they won't stop at drones. If you think John Finn's stand proves strength, press 1. If you believe both sides barely dodged a war, press 9. 11:17 a.m. The battle is over, but the echoes stay. Smoke drifts across the water, mixing with mist and diesel fumes. On John Finn, crewmen move with quiet focus, patching holes, resetting systems, checking ammunition counts. The adrenaline fades, replaced by the slow tremor of survival. The captain writes his first line in the after-action report. Hostile drones neutralized. No engagement with state vessel. It's the sentence that keeps peace for now. He knows how fragile that "for now" truly is. Thousands of miles away, footage from both ships hits the internet within hours. Grainy clips, shaky camera angles, each side claims victory. Beijing calls it proof of control. Washington calls it proof of restraint. Commentators dissect every frame like scripture, searching for signs of who blinked first. In Tokyo, Taipei, and Manila, the phones ring non-stop. Everyone wants answers. Was this an accident, a test, or a warning shot for the next crisis? No one can say for sure. The strait looks calm again, but satellites above show patterns, shifting, ships moving, air patrols adjusting, new signatures appearing where none existed before. Below deck, sailors finally take off their helmets. A petty officer sits on a crate, head in his hands, whispering, "That was too close." Another replies, "Next time, it won't be just drones." On the bridge, the captain stares at the map spread before him. Lines, routes, boundaries drawn by humans, erased by tension. "The sea's still open," he says quietly, "but it's getting smaller every day. For the US, the engagement proves the system works. discipline over impulse, defense over panic, but it also proves how quickly order can collapse. One more spark, one more mistake, and the next battle might not end with decoys and drones, it could begin with missiles. If you believe deterrence kept the peace today, press 1. If you think this calm is just the pause before something greater, press 9.